Hello students, good morning to everyone. This is M. Bujjubabu, working as a chemistry lecturer in Vignan Cooperative Junior College, Vatlamudi. So, in this morning session, I would like to explain about the chapter of solutions from intermediate second year. It belongs to physical chemistry. So, this is a more essential for the objective pattern. The students, from the JEE main pattern also, many of the questions are coming from this solution chapter. So before going to the discussion of the solution chapter, we have to know the preliminary information about the solutions. In our regular life, we have to see many types of solutions. We didn't mean either it is a solution or another form of the mixture. So here the main assumption of this chapter is to learning what is meant by solution and what are the components present in the solution, and next one, the types of solutions which are available in our regular life. Especially this chapter brings about the main contents of the solutions. Once we look at the contents which are present in this video are: first one, solution introduction. Solution introduction. So what is solution? How can we define the solution? And what are the components which are present in solution? So everything is we have to discuss here. And next one, binary solution. So what is meant by binary solution? So for example, if a solution containing more than many compounds, for example, some of the solutions contain only two components, that are termed as binary solutions. If some of the compounds contain more than two solutions also. So in intermediate level, we have to focus only about binary solutions. So binary solution gives the information about the solutions which are having only two components. Such type of solutions are known as binary solutions. And next one, types of solutions. Students, here there are mainly two components which are present in that solution, that is termed as binary solution. So basing on the physical state of the components which are present in that solution, so solutions can be classified into different ways. So the classification of solution takes place based on the physical state of the components which are present in that solution. And next one, composition of solution, expressing concentration of solutions. After knowing the definition of the solution, how can we express the concentration of the given solution? So for example, if you are taking HCl, hydrochloric acid, so diluted HCl is available and concentrated HCl is available. Taking another example, sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Here there is two types of available sulfuric acid, is dilute H2SO4 and concentrated H2SO4. So how can you determine the given sulfuric acid it is in a dilute condition or concentration condition? For example, if you are taking HCl solution, HCl either in a dilute form or concentrated form, concentrated HCl, dilute HCl. So if you are taking any solution, so either it is in dilute form or concentration form, how can we determine? So everything can be learned in this type of the notation, composition of the solution. So basing on the composition of the solution, the proportion of the components which are present on the solution, so the concentration of the solution can be defined. So there are many types of concentration terms which express the concentration of the given type of solution, like that mass percentage, volume percentage, mass by volume percentage, and then ppm, molarity, normality, and mole fraction, and formality, and everything. So these are all concentration terms which express the concentration of the given solution. So these are all the main contents which are present in this video. And next one, come to the definition of the solution. A solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more components. Students, in this intermediate syllabus only, we have to study about only binary component, binary solutions. I already gave the information about binary solution. So what is meant by binary solution? So binary solution means it contains only two components. So generally for consideration of the any solution, the solution contains mainly more than two components, but according to our syllabus in this intermediate pattern, we are able to study about the binary solutions. So binary solution indicates the components present in that given solution only two. First one is solvent and second one is solute. So come to the point of the solution. A solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more components. So here first of all solution is a homogeneous mixture. So solution can be defined as it is a homogeneous mixture consisting of two or more components. So best example is sugar solution and salt solution. Sugar solution and salt solution. Once you look at this image, for example, in this image, we have to take the beaker. That beaker consisting of a little bit amount of water. Therefore, when we are adding little amount of sugar in that water, so what we notice is that the amount of the sugar which is added to the water, the sugar is completely dissolved in that water. Therefore, we are adding a little bit amount of sugar into the water, then thoroughly shake it. So what will happen? So completely the how much amount of sugar we have to take, that sugar completely dissolved in that water. Therefore, it is a sugar solution. So dissolving of sugar in water. So at the same example, you have to take another example is salt solution. If a small amount of salt is taken and that much amount of salt is added to the water like a sugar, so then salt is also completely dissolved in water, it is able to form a complete clear solution. Here students, our assumption is about homogeneous mixture. So look at this example, when we are adding a small amount of sugar or a small amount of water to the water which is present in the beaker, when we are adding a little bit amount of sugar or water, so into the water taken in the beaker, therefore thoroughly mix the solution, it appears as a clear solution. When we are adding a component to that solution, the component is completely dissolved in that water, the solution can be appear as a clear solution, that is a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so this is the meaning of homogeneous mixture. First of all, solution is a homogeneous mixture, it consisting of two or more components. So this is for the information about the solution. So information about the homogeneous mixture. So according to the homogeneous mixture, we have to also know about the heterogeneous mixture also. For example, if we are taking water plus oil or water plus diesel or water plus petrol. So did you notice any information if the oil or diesel or petrol it easily dissolved in water? So it is not possible. So how the sugar and salt is completely dissolved in water, it is not possible in the case of oil, diesel and petrol. So when we are adding some little bit amount of oil or diesel or petrol to the water, they do not dissolve into the water, they appear as a separate layers. Students, that is a best meaning of the heterogeneous mixture. So when the two components are separated as a layers, that is known as heterogeneous mixture. But our assumption is about homogeneous mixture. Solution is a homogeneous mixture contain two or more components. So this is the best example for the homogeneous mixture, and our assumption is solution contain mainly two or more components. Best example is sugar solution and salt solution. So come to the next one. Here the formation of the solution. So it is a what type of change. So another important point is the formation of solution is purely a physical change. It is a completely physical change. It is not a chemical change. So the formation of the solution, when we are adding a component to the another component, when thoroughly mix it, it appears as a homogeneous mixture. So that is the formation of the solution. Therefore, the formation of the solution is purely a physical change. It is a physical change. And another important point regarding solution is the composition of a solution can be separated by evaporation, crystallization, adsorption and distillation. So the composition of a solution can be separated. So what is the composition of the solution? So in previous example, we have to take some little bit amount of water. To that water we are adding salt, and next one sugar. When salt and sugar added to the water, the amount of the salt and sugar are completely dissolved in water. Therefore, If the salt and sugar completely dissolve in water, it appear as a homogeneous mixture. So that is the best example for this solution. But here our motto is the separation of the components which are present in that solution. Here two components are present. So water is the first component and salt and sugar are second component. When the two components are presenting in that homogeneous mixture in the solution, but how can we separate the components present in the solution? It can be done by the process of evaporation process. By evaporation process and crystallization process and adsorption process and distillation process, we have to separate the components which are present in that given solution. So this is about the preliminary information about the types of solution. So next one about binary solution. About binary solution. So what is meant by binary solution? A solution consisting of only two components is called a binary solution. So I already mentioned in the earlier session. So if a solution is a homogeneous mixture, it contains two or more components. But in our intermediate level, we have to focus only about the binary solution. Here, the definition of the binary solution is like this: a solution consisting of only two components. Okay, we have to study about the solutions which are only having two components, that is known as binary solution. Binary means two. The solution consisting of two components, it is termed as a binary solution. So after knowing the binary solution, what are the components presenting in that solution? For example, sugar solution, sugar plus water. So water is the component number 1. It is a component number 1. This is the component number 2. So for a given solution, if two components are present, that is regarding to the binary solution. So in that binary solution, come to the first definition of the solvent. So come to the first definition of the component, that is a solvent. The component that is present in the larger quantity is called a solvent. Students, in a binary solution, there are mainly two components are present. First one is solvent. So the component that is present in the larger quantity is called a solvent. In a given solution, the component which is present in larger quantity, that is known as the solvent. So this is the about the solvent. Example, in aqueous solution of sugar, solvent is water. Solvent is water. So in a sugar solution, so water can be act as a solvent. Water is a solvent because water presenting in larger quantity. So therefore, the component which is present in larger quantity, that is known as the solvent. Next one, come to the definition of the solute. Come to the definition of the solute. The component that is present in lesser quantity is called solute. So in the given solution, the component which is present in very lesser quantity, that is termed as a solute. So and a best example is an aqueous solution of sugar, solute is sugar. So in sugar solution, when we are adding a small amount of sugar in water, so water is the solvent and sugar is the solute. So how can we say that the water is a solvent and sugar is a solute? So basing on the quantity of the component. So water is presenting in the larger quantity, that's why it termed as a solvent. Sugar is present in the lesser quantity, that's why it termed as a solute. Okay, for a given binary solution, the components present are solvent and solute. So look at this example. In this example also, we take a small amount of sugar or salt. Take a small amount of sugar or salt added to the water present in that beaker. We already known very well the how much amount of sugar and salt added to the water, that is completely dissolved in water. So in this example, so water is a solvent and sugar is a solute. So this is about the binary solution. Okay, come to the next about the types of solutions. How can we classify the types of the solutions? So students, I mentioned earlierly, the types of solutions can be classified basing on the physical state of the solvent and solutes. So once you look at this table in that state of solute and state of solvent and an example. So basing on the physical state of the solvent and solute, basing on the physical state of the solvent and solute, solutions can be classified like this. So in this condition number 1, if the state of the solvent is gas and state of the solute is gas. Gas in gas type of solution, the best example is air. Best example is air. Okay. In the given solution, both solute and solvent both are present in gaseous state. That's why it is a best example for that is air. And second one is if the physical state of the solvent is liquid and the physical state of the solute is gas. So it is termed as gas in liquid type of solution. Gas in liquid type of solution. The best example is oxygen in water. Oxygen in water or carbon dioxide in water. So in that gas, oxygen is a solute and liquid solvent is water. And third one, if the solvent is in a solid state and the state of the solute is gas, gas in a solid type of solution. So in that best example is adsorption of hydrogen by palladium metal. So here palladium is a solid, it acts as a solvent. If the solute is presenting in a gaseous state, that is hydrogen. So when the hydrogen gas passing on palladium metal, so the metals are adsorbed on the surface of the metals. And come to the next one, if the state of the solvent is liquid and state of the solute is liquid. Here very important thing is the both physical state of the solute and solvent are both are presenting in liquid state. Therefore, the best example is alcohol in water. When alcohol added to the water, it completely dissolved in water due to the formation of the hydrogen bonding. You know that very well. So therefore, in the type of solution, both the state of the solute and state of the solvent both are presenting in liquid state. So come to the next one. If the state of the solvent is solid, if the state of the solute is liquid, this is known as liquid in solid type of solution. Liquid in solid type of solution. The best example is mercury in silver. Mercury in silver. So in that example, if the solvent is silver and the solute is mercury. And next one, solid in liquid type of solution. Solid in liquid type of solution. So in this example, the state of the solvent is liquid, the state of the solute is liquid. It termed as, pronounced as solid in a liquid type of solution. The best example is sugar, salt. Sugar and salt. And finally, the physical state of the solute and solvent both are presenting in solid. Both are presenting in solid. Best example is metal alloys and carbon in iron. So therefore, the physical state of the solute and solvent both are presenting in solid state. Such type of solution is known as solid in solid type of solution. Best example is metal alloys. So like brass, bronze and German silver. So in brass, bronze, German silver, the composition of silver, lead, tin, like that extra metals. Okay. So this is about the classification of the elements. And next one, expressing concentration of solution. Expressing concentration of solution. So after knowing the classification of the solution, how can we express the concentration of the given solution? So look at this one. The composition of any solution, expressed in terms of the amounts of solute dissolved in 1 unit of the solvent or solution. So the composition of the any solution can be expressed how much amount of solute can be present, how much amount of solute can be dissolved in 1 unit of solvent or solution. In 1 unit of solvent or solution, it can be expressed by the composition of the solution. The amount of the solute dissolved in the given quantity of the solvent or solution is called concentration of the solution. So look at the definition of the concentration of the solution. So how can we define the concentration of the given solution is like this. The amount of the solute dissolved in the given quantity of solvent or solution is called concentration of the solution. For example, if you are taking for a given quantity of solvent or solution, how much amount of solute dissolved in the given quantity of solvent or solution is known as the concentration of that particular solution. So come to the concentration terms of the given solutions are there are many types of concentration terms are which are available in that our syllabus. In that one, first one is mass percentage or percent by mass, W by W. So look at the definition. The mass of solute in grams per 100 grams of solution is called mass percentage. So the mass of solute in grams for 100 grams of solution. If you are taking 100 grams of solution, in that 100 grams of solution, how much amount of mass of the solute present? It is known as the mass percentage. It is known as the mass percentage of the solution. So look at the formula for mass percentage is equal to mass percentage is equal to mass percentage equal to mass of that component by mass of that component by total mass of the solution, mass of that component by total mass of that solution into 100. So this is the definition for the mass percentage or percent by mass of the solution. So mass percentage is equal to the mass of the solute in grams present in the 100 grams of the solution. It can be written as formula mass of that component by total mass of the solution into 100. Total mass of the solution into 100. For example, 5 grams of ethyl alcohol present in 100 grams of solution. 5 grams of ethyl alcohol present in 100 grams of the solution. So in that one, 5 grams of ethyl alcohol is known as the solute and 100 grams of solution is known as the solution. So therefore the amount of the solute presenting in the given quantity of solvent or solute. So this is about the mass percentage or percent by mass. So come to the second one, volume percent or percent by volume. It can be denoted by the formula V by V. So look at the definition. The number of units of volume of the solute per 100 units of volume of the solution is known as volume percentage. For given 100 unit volume of solution, how many number of units of solute can be present? That is known as the volume percent or percent by volume. So it indicates this is equal to volume of solute by volume of solution into 100. Volume of solution into 100. So therefore the volume of solute by volume of solution into 100, it is a mathematical notation for the volume percentage. So volume of solute by volume of solution into 100. For example, 10 ml of sulfuric acid present in 100 ml of water. 100 ml of water. So best example is 10 ml of sulfuric acid present in 100 ml of water. In that 10 ml of sulfuric acid, it is termed as a solute. It is a solute, and 100 ml of water is termed as a solvent. And next concentration term is mass by volume percentage. It indicated by W by V. So it can be defined as the mass of solute dissolved in 100 ml of the solution is called mass by volume percentage. The mass of the solute dissolved in 100 ml of the solution. So it can be defined as mass by volume percentage. So it can be defined as mass of solute by volume of solution. Mass of solute by volume of solution into 100. So this is a mathematical notation for the mass by volume percentage. W by V, mass of the solute by volume of the solution into 100. Mass of the solute by volume of the solution into 100. For example, 10 grams of iron present in 100 ml of water. 100 ml of water. So this is the best example for this one. And another concentration term is parts per million, ppm, parts per million. So this is only used for the when the solute is presenting in very trace quantity. In that condition, we have to use the concentration of the given solution. So the number of parts by mass of a solute per million parts by mass of the solution. So this is the definition for the parts per million. You have to take the number of parts by mass of solute per million parts by mass of the solution. It also can be written as mass of solute by mass of solute by total mass of the solution, mass of solute by total mass of solution into 10 power 6 into 10 power 6. So it also can be defined as the mass of parts of solute by million parts by mass of the solution. It also can be written as mass of solute by total mass of the solution into 10 power 6. That means parts per million into 10 power 6. This parts per million can be used for the only the solute presenting in very trace quantity. The solute presenting in very trace quantity. So come to the next definition, molarity. It is very, very important for the in objective pattern also. Many of the questions are asked from this one, molarity. So what is the definition for molarity? The number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter volume of solution. 1 liter volume of solution. So that is known as definition for the molarity. So molarity can be defined as, it is denoted by the symbol capital M. Molarity is equal to number of moles of solute by number of moles of solute present in 1 liter volume of solution. 1 liter volume of solution. 1 liter volume of solution. Number of moles of solute present in 1 liter volume of solution, it is known as the molarity. So it also can be written as number of moles of solute can be written as N2 by volume of the solution V, it can be written as in liters. So number of moles means weight by molecular weight into 1 by volume in liters. It also be converted into milliliters. So number of moles W2 by M2 into 1000 by volume in milliliter. Students, here remember very, very important thing is, so what is the notation for N1 and N2? So for example, if you are taking binary solution, it contains two components, that is a solvent. So solvent is a major one in the given solution, therefore number of moles of solvent is equal to N1, this is equal to W1 by M1. So you know that number of moles is equal to weight by gram molecular weight. So number of moles of solvent is equal to N1 is equal to W1 by M1. So number of moles of solute N2 is equal to W2 by M2. So therefore here number of moles of solute, I have to take N2 value for 1 liter volume of solution, volume in liters. So in place of N2 I can write here N2 is equal to W2 by M2, number of moles of solute. Solute is the minor component present in the solution. Okay, so this is about the about molarity. So here another important thing is molarity is also depending upon temperature. So here volume is present. If you are increasing temperature, there is a changes in volume, therefore molarity is dependent on temperature. Next one, come to the definition of the normality. So normality can be defined as, so the definition of the normality is the number of gram equivalents of solute, the number of gram equivalents of solute dissolved in the 1 liter volume of the solution. In given 1 liter volume of solution, how many number of gram equivalents of solute present? That is known as normality. Therefore normality can be written like this. Normality can be defined as indicated by the symbol n. N is equal to number of gram equivalents of solute, number of gram equivalents of solute by volume of solution, volume of solution in liters, volume of solution into liters. So therefore, in the definition of the normality, number of gram equivalents of solute present in the given 1 liter volume of solution, present in the given 1 liter volume of solution. It can be written as, so number of gram equivalents of solute also can be written like this, N2 by volume in liters. Therefore, here N2 is equal to number of gram equivalents. So number of gram equivalents means weight by equivalent weight, weight by equivalent weight into 1 by volume in liters. It can also be written as weight by equivalent weight into 1000 by volume in milliliters. So therefore, how can we calculate the number of gram equivalents? So number of gram equivalents means weight by equivalent weight. So weight is like the weight of the given component. For how can we calculate the equivalent weight? So there is some different formulas for calculate the equivalent weight of acid. So how can we calculate equivalent weight of acid? That is equal to its molecular weight of that acid by basicity, molecular weight of acid by basicity. So basicity means number of replaceable hydrogen atoms from acid. Therefore, equivalent weight of base, equivalent weight of base is equal to molecular weight of that base by acidity, molecular weight of that base by acidity. So what is meant by acidity? The number of replaceable OH groups from base. So this is the formulas for calculation of equivalent weight of acid and equivalent weight of base. So in the same manner also we have to calculate the equivalent weight of salt also. How can we calculate equivalent weight of salt is equal to its a formula weight by charge. It's a formula weight by charge present on cation or anion, charge present on cation or anion. So this is the formulas for calculation of the equivalent weight of given acid or base or salt. So this is the for about normality, number of gram equivalents of solute present in 1 liter volume of solution. Here also volume present, it will be also depending upon temperature. So next concentration term is molality. Next concentration term is molality. So how can we define the molality? The number of moles of solute. The number of moles of solute present in 1 kilogram of the solvent is called molality of the solution. So the definition of the molality can be defined it as the number of moles of solute present in the 1 kilogram mass of the solvent. It is known as the molality of the solution. So molality can be written like this formula. Molality can be denoted by the symbol small m. Capital M indicates molarity, small m indicates molality. So molality can be defined as number of moles of solute, number of moles of solute present in 1 kg mass of the solvent. 1 kg mass of solvent, not solution. This is very important point. So in case of the molarity and normality, we have to take the volume of the solution. So in case of molarity, number of moles of solute in 1 liter volume of solution. In case of normality, the number of gram equivalents of solute in 1 liter volume of solution. But it is different to that one for both. That is the molality, number of moles of solute in 1 kilogram mass of the solvent. Here, in place of the volume of this solution, here we have to take the mass of the solvent. Therefore, this is equal to, we can be written as N2 by mass of the solvent. I written like this, A in kilograms. We already know that number of moles is equal to weight by gram molecular weight. W2 by M2 into 1 by A in kilograms. Here also we can be converted into kilograms into grams. It can be written as W2 by M2 into 1000 by A in grams. 1000 by A in grams. So this is for the definition of the molality. Number of moles of solute present in 1 kg mass of the solvent. So to come to the next one, mole fraction. So what is the definition of the mole fraction? This is another concentration term for expressing the given solution, that is the molality. The ratio of number of moles of one component to the total number of moles of all components present in the given solution, it is known as mole fraction. So how can we define mole fraction? For example, in given solution I have to take two components, component A and component B. Here Na is the number of moles of component A and Nb is the number of moles of component B. For example, mole fraction can be defined by the symbol of Xi. Mole fraction of component A is equal to Na by Na plus Nb. Na by Na plus Nb. So this is the formula for the mole fraction of component A. So mole fraction of any component present in the solution, it can be defined as the number of moles of one component to the number of moles of all components which are present in the given solution. Here mole fraction of component A is equal to moles of A by moles of A plus moles of B. At a similar manner also mole fraction of component B is equal to Nb by Na plus Nb. Nb by Na plus Nb. That means mole fraction of component B is equal to moles of component B by moles of component A and moles of component B. Therefore, in a given dilute solution, mole fraction of two components must be equal to 1 unity. The sum of the components, the sum of the mole fraction of two components present in a solution, that can be equal to the unity. So this is about the mole fraction. So this is another concentration term for the given solution. So next we have to conducting the concentration terms according to the concentration terms. So this is the dilution formulas. So how can we calculate the dilution formula? Here we are taking two types of solutions. For given solution A, here you have to take two types of solution. The first one is solution A and second one is solution B. Its molarity is capital M1 and its volume is V1, and the component for component B, molarity is M2 and volume is V2 In dilute solutions we have to write like this manner: M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. In a similar manner also we have to write for a normality for given component A and component B. For given component A, normality is N1 and its volume is V1, and for component B, normality is N2 and volume is V2. Therefore we have to write a dilute solution formula: N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. So therefore the solution of water added to the for given component 1, the solution of, for example, if you are taking component A, it having the molarity M1 and volume V1. So therefore its concentration changes to M2, then how much amount of water should be added? That is equal to M1 V1 is equal to M2 into V1 plus X. Here X is equal to volume of water added. Volume of water added. So for the in case of dilute solutions, for the changing the concentration of one solution to another solution, for example for component A, molarity M1, volume V1. So it concentration changes to M2, then it will be diluted. How much amount of water should be added? So based on that principle, how much volume of water should be added? It is equal to m1 v1 is equal to m2 into v1 plus x. Here x is equal to volume of water should be added. Therefore, the volume of water should be added is equal to x is equal to v2 minus x is equal to v2 minus v1. X is equal to v2 minus v1. So this formula can also be written in the case of normality also. Therefore, n1 v1 is equal to n2 into v1 plus x. Therefore, here also the volume of water should be added to the dilution purpose. X is equal to v2 minus x is equal to v2 minus v1. So in case of dilute solutions, we are taking the concentration of the solution as a molarity or normality. These two formulas are implemented. So m1 v1 is equal to m2 v2 in case of molarity. In case of normality, n1 v1 is equal to n2 v2. So for given solution, if for the dilution of the given solution, then we have to use how much amount of water should be added, that is equal to x is equal to v2 minus v1, and here also in case of normality also x is equal to v2 minus v1. And next one about molarity and normality of mixtures. If you are taking same solute, for given solution, for the consideration of molarity and normality of mixtures, we have to take same solute. So we have to take same solute. Therefore, how can we calculate the molarity and normality? Therefore, in the case of molarity, mv. In case of molarity, mv is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 and so on. So therefore, molarity m is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus and so on by v. So in case of normality also, we have to written like this one, nv is equal to n1 v1 plus n2 v2 plus and so on. So this indicates calculation of normality, n is equal to n1 v1 plus n2 v2 by v. So this is the calculation of the molarity and normality. If you are taking same solute, we have to use this type of formulas, molarity and normality. So for the same solute is present again. So this is all concentration terms regarding about the solution. So once I write all the formulas about that concentration terms, which are very helpful in the solving problems like molarity, normality, molarity and mole fraction, and dilution formulas. And if you are taking same solute for the calculation of the molarity and normality, once again I write here. So the first formula, molarity, you know that very well, molarity can be written as a capital M. So molarity means the number of moles of solute present in 1 liter volume of solution. So we have to write number of moles by weight by gram molecular weight, weight by gram molecular weight into 1 by volume in liters. It also be changes into milliliters. Weight by molecular weight into 1000 by volume in milliliters. So this is for calculation of the molarity in the one other way. In another, a different formula also here, calculation of the molarity, m is equal to 10 dx by molecular weight. 10 dx by molecular weight. 10 dx by molecular weight. So this is another formula for the calculation of the molarity of the given solution, 10 dx by molecular weight. So here d is the density of the solution. D is the density of the solution. D is the density. D is the density of solution. D is the density of solution. X is the concentration of solution. X is the concentration of solution in given percentage. If D value and X value given, this is formula we have to use calculation of the molarity. At a similar manner also, in the case of normality, we have to write N2 by volume in liters. Now here N2 means number of gram equivalents of solute, that indicates weight by equivalent weight into 1 by volume in liters, 1 by volume in liter. So I already mentioned, I already discussed about how can we calculate the equivalent weight of given acid or base or a salt. So here our assumption is for the calculation of the normality of a given solution like this formula, n is equal to 10 dx by n is equal to 10 dx by equivalent weight. N is the 10 dx by equivalent weight. In this formula also 10 is the constant, d is the density of the solution, and x is the percentage of the concentration we have to take in. Therefore here EW is the equivalent weight. Okay, how can we calculate equivalent weight of acid? Molecular weight by basicity. How can we calculate equivalent weight of base? Molecular weight of base by acidity. So how can we calculate the equivalent weight of salt? So it is equal to formula weight of the salt by charge presenting on the cation or anion. So this is about molarity and normality. So come to the next one. For molality small m, number of moles of solute present in kilogram mass of solvent. Kilogram mass of solvent. It also can be written as number of moles means weight by gram molecular weight into, it can be also 1000 by A in grams. So this is about molality. And next one, mole fraction can be mentioned by the symbol represented by the symbol xi. So xi means mole fraction of component A is equal to Na by Na plus Nb. Moles of that component by moles of total moles of the solution for component A. In case of for component B, xi b is equal to Nb by Na plus Nb. Nb by Na plus Nb. So for the calculation of mole fraction of any component, so this is equal to moles of that component by total moles of the solution. So this is about the mole fraction. These four are very important concentration terms. So we have to calculate many problems in objective pattern. Either it is MSET pattern or IIT JEE Main pattern. Molarity, normality, molality and mole fraction, related dilution formulas and their relation there. If you are taking the same salt in the case of molarity and normality. Okay, students, finally I recall what we learned in this video are. So we learned about that first one, the definition of the solution. So solution is a homogeneous mixture which consisting of only two components, that is about only binary solution. So binary solution means the solution which contain only two components, that is a binary solution. So we have to see few examples, sugar solution and a salt solution. And next, classification of the solution. So how can we classify the solution based on the physical state of the solute and solvent? And next one, expressing the concentration of the given solution. So how can we define the concentration of the given solution? Means the amount of solute which is presenting in the 1 unit of the solvent or solution, it termed as a solution concentration. Then there is so many concentration terms. Mass percentage equal to mass of the component by total mass of the solution into 100. So volume percentage equal to volume of the component by volume of the solution into 100. Mass by volume percentage equal to mass of the component by volume of the solution into 100. And next one, ppm, mass of the component by total mass of the solution into 10 power 6. And next one, very important thing, molarity, number of moles of solute in 1 liter volume of solution. And come to the next one, normality, number of gram equivalents of solute present in 1 liter volume of solution. And next one, molality, number of moles of solute present in 1 kilogram mass of the solvent. And final one, mole fraction. So number of moles of particular component by total number of moles of all components of the solution, that is known as mole fraction. And next one, finally, some dilution formulas. M1V1 is equal to M2V2, N1V1 is equal to N2V2. Okay, the how much amount of water should be added is equal to M1V1 is equal to M2 into V1 plus X, X is equal to V2 minus V1. It is also same for in case of normality. And how can we calculate the molarity and normality if the same solute is present? If the same solute is present, it is basing on the formula MV is equal to M1V1 plus M2V2 and so on. M is equal to M1V1 plus M2V2 by V. It is same as for the normality. And finally, we have to write all the important formulas in case of molarity, normality, molality and mole fraction. So this is another formula for molarity, 10 dx by molecular weight, normality 10 dx by equivalent weight. If density of the solution given and concentration of the solution also we have to calculate the concentration of the given solution. These are all concentration terms. Okay students, thank you. Thank you to all, thank you very much.